right, let's see. I'll know I'm live when I see a comment in the chat. Somebody says they can hear me. So if you're that person in the chat who can hear me, please let me know. Once I see those comments, I'll get going. Something about these road live streams. Well, Charmed One's right there on the spot. We're live. All right, welcome back, Truth Seeker. Voice is a little bit rough. Used a lot of it the last week. And I think it was a pretty good trip, all things considered. I want to say thank you to everyone who came out. Sacramento, San Francisco, Palo Alto, of course, Los Angeles. Again, when we can plan a certain date further out, it definitely brings a bigger turnout. And I think we definitely got to get together again in LA on Kobe Bryant Day, August 24th. The only downside of that day is it's not a weekend. The weekend does always help bring more people out, just like we had our biggest turnout yesterday, Saturday. But Kobe Bryant Day, it's the day they celebrate Kobe, and it'll be another great day to get out a message, and there might be a lot more to talk about by then, and in all likelihood there will be. In fact, I heard while I was on the road, I haven't had a chance to investigate it, but I heard that a headline today in the sports world is that Kawhi Leonard's sister killed somebody. Funny, Kawhi's on the bench, breaking the Clippers' hearts fans, and now more Kawhi bad news. His sister's out murdering people or something like that. So anyway, I'll look into that when I get home. But for all the people who heard us yesterday talking about celebrity death connected to entertainment, they might be thinking about that today. Wait a minute, Kawhi's sister's killed somebody now? What? Anyway, you know what line I should have had yesterday when we were talking to all the people outside the Staples Center, watching the game across the street at the bar? I should have used the 1984 quote. Would have been. I can't believe I didn't do that. Now in hindsight, I'm like, what's wrong with me, man? Again, the George Orwell quote from 1984. All it took to fill up the horizons of their mind was gambling, sports, and beer. And then I could have led into how in 1984, Kareem set the points record and LeBron was born, and then gone into the whole 38 special when he passed it. I can't believe I didn't think of that on the spot, but probably part of the reason I didn't think about that is because, once again, hardly slept. Whenever we do these road tours, there's just not a lot of time for sleep. It's a lot of driving. And again, what's nice is, everything's a double-edged sword, but it's just nice when people come together, good conversations, nobody wants to say goodbye, you end up being up all night. It's just like I couldn't even get out of LA last night. I wanted to be on the road by 6. I ended up being on the road by midnight, so I'm a little bit behind schedule here. But I will be home in time to get Sweet Lady to her an appointment tomorrow morning. And the one other thing I wish I could have back, it's just like in New York, when we saw Flava Flav in Times Square, I wish I could have that moment back. You guys might have noticed yesterday in the stream, it depends on who had the camera, You guys, when you have the camera and you're out there, I mean, try to think about it, try to capture awesome shots. Some people do better with the camera than others. But there was one point where we had all these people gathering around us like they were hooked. And then I realized our cameraman was just sitting in front of me, just kind of, he looked bored too. He was just lackadaisical at the camera. I was like, man, you should have been capturing how many people we had at that moment. But I don't know. It might have been around the same time that billionaire, that guy with the long white hair that always has the fancy hats and jackets on, that's always at the Laker game. I forget what his name is, but you just recognize him when you see him. He looks like a character from The Simpsons. When he came by, I started talking to him to ask him about Kobe, but I should have come with the funnies. I should have been because in all seriousness, I should have said something like, hey, man, I've been watching you on, I have to think about how to phrase it, but anyway, that guy is not aged. He's been looking 100 years old for the last 30 years. Should have been I'll think about how to phrase it. But anyway, is that guy even a human being? He's like a vampire. He's literally been looking 100 years old for the last 30 years. Looks like he hasn't aged a day. It looks like he's preserved himself at age 100 for all of my lifetime. But for whatever reason, they just had that guy walk right through our group, which I thought was so weird. I was like, did he want to come out and hear us? Like, why is he even here? He had some guy walking alongside him. But that's not where the celebrities go. The celebrities, I guess, come in the back entrance. So it's like, why is he walking through our group right now? Anyway, I wish I could have captured that guy's attention more than I did. He didn't make eye contact, but he walked right through. So anyway, what I really liked about what I really liked about our gathering was the number of people who grabbed the mic and had something to say. And shout out to everyone who did that. And you know what? Next time we're out there, I hope even more people come through. And we did take some wild cards, handed the mic to strangers, and that was good and bad. But again, part of the reason to do that is just to show that, we're not just there to be the only ones making noise. We want people to come out and have a voice and stand up for something that they think is important. And by the way, for all the people who get mad at me for hating on Christianity, I don't really hate on it, but I just call out what's wrong with it, in my opinion, being someone who came up in it. But it's just like when I got to the game yesterday. Before the game started, the Christian guy came there. I was already there. We started making all this noise, and we were having a conversation because I was going to see if we could share the noise space, and maybe I was going to try to help him out in a way, even though not totally about. But anyway, once he asked me if I was Christian myself, and I told him no, he immediately stopped talking to me and then wouldn't listen at all and just kept making a bunch of noise and quoting from Romans. And the funny thing is, he didn't know any Bible verses that I asked him. I asked about Ephesians 6:5-9. He didn't know what that was. He didn't know about Genesis 3:2-2 or Genesis 46. He didn't know any of these things. But all he could quote from was Romans, 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 Romans. And again, there's always people like that at sports games. They're always there with the same type of sign and the same type of loudspeaker, and it really does seem that they're paid to be there. But again, it just showed that the guy was like, he wasn't a good human being. He was a piece of shit. Like, I'm trying to share with the guy, and all he wants to do is filibuster and make all the noise and act like he knows what he's talking about when he knows less about the Bible than I do. You know? And the funny thing about a guy like that is, I mean, if you could, I can't remember how much of our stream was picking up what he was saying, but I mean, 50% of his rhetoric was about pornography. I bet you that guy, the first thing he did when he got home from his paid-for job pretending to be a Christian, I bet you the first thing he did when he got home was got in front of his computer and jerked off. I bet you anything that's exactly what he did. Because why? I mean, like, dude, do you have anything else to talk about besides pornography? I think he was confessing his own problems out there on the street. Romans, Romans, Romans. It's like, do you hear yourself? Romans. God, it's amazing.
Okay, can you guys hear me now? Can I be heard? Can I be heard? Do we have volume again? Okay, we do. Okay. Yeah, it was a sweet lady phone call. Sweet lady asked if I'm going to need some dinner when I get home, which is just the question I wanted to hear. So, anyhow, I'll have a nice meal as soon as I get home, and that's why it's nice to have a sweet lady. And that's a reminder, you guys, you know, uh, come out to these gatherings. You might meet yourself a sweet lady. And ladies, don't be afraid to come out. Couple truth seeker couples that met through the work came out to Los Angeles as well. And you might have seen one of those ladies. She was on the mic a lot. And shout out to her man Brandon, who's been, Brandon's been helping me out for years, just sending me awesome stuff to hand out in the mail. And he brought him again this time. And he also, he kept us very well hydrated. Shout out to Brandon and all the other truth seekers. Yeah, Brandon gave me some nice gifts as well for the road. But yeah, you guys, it was really great teamwork. A lot of people came out, brought things to hand out, signs, their own ideas, pamphlets, whiteboards, their voice, their message, their willingness to interact with the crowd and get more people to think about it. And, some people have said, man, I really thought there'd be more people here. It was about what I expected, to be honest, because I just know all my numbers are down. And a big reason they're down is because the algorithms work extra hard. I mean, the algorithms working extra hard to keep us down. But even though we didn't big of a turnout as we would have liked, I mean, it was pretty good on Saturday. I'd say Saturday we probably had close to 50 people, but a lot of people were doing things that helped magnify their presence. But yeah, you guys, I guess the point I'm trying to get to is August 24th, 8/24. It's one day to plan for. I know it's not the weekend, but I will be there, and I hope everyone else who's in range of LA or who wants to be there that day, if you want to fly out, whatever you want to do. I say we do it real big on 8/24. This was the dry run. But yeah, and again, a lot of people connected there, and they said they're going to go out and pound pavement in between. So I think there's going to be a presence in LA of people working together, getting out similar messages between now and then. And again, if you weren't in LA, but you're in other parts, other communities that have sports teams, basketball teams. Again, you guys, use the website that I'm hosting, that I'm paying for every month, freetofindtruth.com. Get on that website, use it, try to network, try to find people in your city, and get out and pound pavement together. And again, the more you get out there, the more comfortable you get. You guys start doing it, other people will find you. You'll build your group. We got to keep working hard and pushing to build our numbers. If we don't do it, things aren't going to change. It is a difficult battle. It's a major uphill battle, no doubt about it. But we planted a lot of seeds, and sure, maybe out of all the people that heard us, and I mean, in all the days in LA, I mean, there were tens of thousands of people that heard us. Maybe only 5% of people out of those tens of thousands cared, but you know what? 5% out of, I'd say at least 100,000 people were in earshot of what we were talking about over and over in LA. 5% of 100,000 is 5,000 people. And those 5,000 people who might very well have appreciated it, maybe it's better than that. Maybe some people walked on by, but they listened, and maybe they'll look into it. But I'm going with a conservative estimate of 5%. So let's just say we really reached 5,000 people with that visit in those days. Those people might spread it to their friends and family. That 5,000 might become 10,000, 20, 50. The point is, if everybody's doing this nationwide all the time, eventually, it's multiplying, it's magnifying, and then we're all of a sudden, instead of reaching thousands of people, we're reaching millions of people because we're doing it all over the place. We're working together. We're creating our groups in our community. It's got to be like this. I don't have to be there, you guys. You can do it too. And just like I was saying at the beginning of yesterday's stream, you know, I wasn't always confident speaking in front of people. The only way you get confident speaking in front of people is by doing it. You know? You got to go out and do it. You got to be uncomfortable first. You just got to get through it. You'll survive. You'll survive. And then you'll get better. But yeah, next time also. So here's what else I have to do, you guys. You got to hold me to this. I'm going to try. I know you guys like my videos and live streams. I'm still going to do it. But I'm really going to, I got to get the book done, and I got to get it done quick because I got to have it ready by August 24th. I got to have my copies when I come down there. We got to have books to hand out. But we got to have the books. And you know, Ralph, shout out to Ralph. Ralph had a really great pamphlet that he put together with all the Kobe information. Gonna look into how to mass produce that pamphlet. I'm gonna proofread all of it. And then he said he'd like better illustrations in there. Well, I got that illustrator. He would love to illustrate something and make some money. So maybe rather than print out a whole bunch of books that would cost a lot more, that pamphlet wouldn't be too expensive. But get Ralph's pamphlet perfected, mass produced, and you know, have thousands of those to hand out for 824. You know, get them all over the city, make people want to keep it, make it look cool. You know, so they don't just toss in the can, but they're like, hey, this thing is worth hanging on to. This is mind-blowing. So shout out to Ralph for getting that together. You know, and you guys, Ralph did two things that I've been talking about doing for a long time. I mean, that's why some people are doers. I like to consider myself a doer. I have been doing a lot, but I didn't get things done that I talked about. But Ralph got them done. I said, put together a calendar that just shows all the significant dates, like the dates that we always talk about with celebrity death and killing. Ralph put that calendar together. Shout out to Ralph. And then Ralph put together that awesome pamphlet for Kobe Bryant. He pretty much took my chapter on Kobe, added on to it with additional research, which was very good and important, and just put it all together in a nice little neat package. And the gentleman with the longer hair, I'm sorry, I forgot the name, man. I got all the faces in my head that I saw on the trip, but it was hard for me to keep all the names straight. But a gentleman came out with longer hair. He said he's only been following for so long, not even that long. But you guys, he's put together, you know how I've done all the work with 201 and Saturn and Saturnalia and Mr. 201, Pope Francis being born on Saturnalia? He took it to a whole new level. He found out about this other important Saturn occult aspect that has all these 201s encoded. So I got to get into that more. But yeah, it's just awesome to see, you know, people coming together, collaborating, having conversations, taking the research further. And you know, Dez, I remember his name for sure because Dez came out with big energy and was ready to hop on the mic. And he's the gentleman I told you about that started out with the hobby with the skateboard deck business, and now it's turned into a major business. He brought his sweet lady out. She was on the camera for a lot of the day. So, yeah, again, you guys. And Dez, you know, he told me later, he's like, you know, I haven't done a whole lot of public speaking, but he did great, and he's going to do even better next time. So, I mean, you just got to go for it. You just got to go for it. Just like my man Austin in Seattle, he'd never done it before either. And I could tell Austin was a little bit nervous. That's normal, but he did it. And the next time he does it, it's going to be even better. So, the next time we come out, don't be afraid to take the mic. And if it's just, you know, if you get up there and it's too much, you know, just take a breather and then come back to it. I mean, trust me, we got to get more people in our community willing to speak out. We got to get more courageous as a community. We got an important message. People got to hear it. So we'll keep doing it. And if you guys want to help me out, because I'm going to do it, and trust me, Sweet Lady's going to be annoyed again, but she always forgives me as long as I come back in one piece. But I know you guys who are tuned in right now are the ones helping me. If there's anybody out there who's listening who's not, you really could help me out. Again, you guys, Sweet Lady looks at it from a logical point of view. 1 year ago, before I went down to Oklahoma City, there were 6,500 people financially supporting the work, pledging $1, and some pledge more, but a lot of people pledge $1. So there were 6,500 people doing that a month. Right now, it's not even at 4,500. So we're down 2,000 people from before I went to Oklahoma City last year. And when we went to Oklahoma City, we drove all across the nation as well. We went to New York City. Now we're doing this again. We've been, and there, it's not like there's been any let up. I mean, we've just been working nonstop. Somebody said, Zach, I think a lot of people fell off because you didn't finish your third book. That could be true, but it's not. I've been putting in the time. I haven't been able to make it as good as I want to. By the way, shout out to Dez. If you guys saw that copy of Dez's book that he put together, I haven't read it, but just the way the cover is and the color coding, I mean, I need to have him help me put together my next book. I can write it, but his little artistic touch, man, that'll definitely sell some more copies. Shout out to Unicorn. I can't quite read the rest, but I do appreciate the gas money. Thank you. And thank you to again, I haven't had a chance to read all the super chats from yesterday, but we will do that. But yeah, you guys definitely helped cover the expenses for the trip yesterday. I appreciate that. But yeah, you guys, I mean, seriously, like I keep saying, I mean, our message is really important. We seem to be doing things that other people are not willing to do, things that people have maybe not quite figured out as well. We're also doing unprecedented things, you know, connecting dots like they've never been connected before. I really do think that in this nation of whatever it is now, 350 million, I think there's at least 5 million people, at least 5 million, who see the value in what we're doing, or they would if they knew about it. So we got to help find that audience. We got to help convince them to pledge $1 a month. Imagine that. Imagine we had 5 million Americans dedicated to making a change, and their only financial contribution is $1 a month. Imagine that, because that's not much of a contribution individually, but you would have $5 million a month to work with. Think about how many people we could employ in how many cities. You could have full-time teams in every major city, learning to work together, going out, having very high-quality signs, productions. I imagine what it would be like if we had like, you know how they drive those advertising trucks in cities? The advertising trucks with the digital advertisements that change. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. I saw them all over New York. They're like flatbed trucks, but in the back of the truck, instead of a trailer, they have a big screen with the advertising. As we talk about Gematria's, because it's so much more effective with a visual. It'd make it so much easier to imagine it, because like when I'm out there on the street, I want to tell people about Kobe and 157. Ralph kept saying, Zach, talk about the 157 part too, and I wanted to, but it's just like, I know it's easier for people to hook with one number, and the 41 thing's just easier to explain with LeBron winning the finals 41 weeks after his birthday, after the whole Kobe death thing. But if we have a visual up behind us, you know what I mean? But of course, one of those trucks and the screen, I mean, the thing will probably cost $100,000, right? We don't have $100,000. We got disconnected there. I'm not sure how well we'll stay connected. We kind of are in the middle of nowhere, so there could be a lot of buffering here. The good news is I've said most of what needs to be said for this stream. But again, you guys, if you can make it out to LA August 24th, I'm going to do LA September 11th. Or did I say LA? We're going to do New York September 11th again. LA August 24th. It's going to be a tough sell for Sweet Lady, but it has to be done. LA and New York are great places because there's lots of people there. And honestly, out of all the places we went to, I thought that the most effective place was, in terms of getting people to hear, is that Santa Monica Pier. It's just so perfect because people are just walking straight at you in huge numbers. The sound carries really well down the pier. And we had a lot of really good engagements there. Hollywood was cool, but there's just so many lights and sounds to compete with. And Darth Vader's walking around and Catwoman and everything else. And people are there to be entertained. By the way, maybe the craziest thing that happened on that trip was we were talking about Prince in Hollywood. Did you guys see that when the white dove flew right over and landed above us? Did you guys see that? The white dove, while we're talking about Prince on the anniversary of Prince, when he's got the hit song, When Doves Cry. That was too weird. That was too weird. So, anyway. Synchronicity. And like I told you, I'll tell you here were my top 3 synchronicities that happened while I was there. When I first got into town, I was getting coffee that morning. The first building I went into when I got into Los Angeles, the coffee shop, I opened the door and what song's playing? Halo, Beyonce's song in the City of Angels. So I thought, how perfect. And again, just Kobe, number 24, Beyonce with the 24th Grammy the day of Kobe's death, in the building that Kobe built. Shout out to Truth Only, Massachusetts' title town. It went away too fast. I'm going to read all, I'm sorry, man, other people can read your super chat, but I will, when I get home, you guys, I'll go through everybody's super chats. Thank you for the generosity. Okay, but the top 3 synchronicities. Again, the white dove landing above us while talking about Prince's death on the anniversary of Prince's death. The Halo thing when I first got there. And then the other one, if you're out there, Holly, shout out to Holly. Holly's always educating me about angel number 333. Her and I, our birthdays are 333 days apart. She helped me edit my first book, Letters and Numbers, which is a huge task because the book's nearly 800 pages. And without her, it would have way more typos in it than it does. And shout out to my mom for helping me edit the second book. It would also have more typos if it wasn't for her in the second book. But Holly is all about angel number 333. And everything's a blur to me. I can't remember if it was the end of the first night in LA. But it was early in the morning. I pulled over on the side of the road. And when I pulled over, I noticed there was a statue of an angel just right there in front of me. And then I checked the time, all in synchronicity, and it was 3:33 in the morning. And I thought, whoa. I had to make sure I had something. And it was just like, it was an unexpected stop, but then it seemed symbolic. I was like, okay, I guess maybe it was meant to go this way. To see the angel statue right in front of me at 3:33 in the morning. She's always telling me about angel number 333 in the City of Angels. So, anyway, every time I do one of these road trips, there's just these wild synchronicities. And it was true again, so... Also, I got to say shout out to Jonathan. Jonathan, he hooked me up with a place to stay the first night of travel. I drove down to Sacramento when I started. I stopped in Sacramento. Jonathan hooked me up at his place, let me stay there. And Jonathan said, you got to end that streak of not smoking. It's 420 tomorrow. And so... Jonathan and I, we had a nice smoke. We caught up. We had a good time. We were laughing. And then Jonathan, I did something I had not done since it was like the last time I played the game was in college, but we were laughing and having a fun time, man. I haven't played video games since like 2005, but Jonathan got me to play the Madden game. It was funny because Jonathan was kicking my ass in Madden. I haven't played the game in nearly 20 years, but at the end of the game, just like back in the day, I remember in Madden, if you're kicking somebody's ass in the end, it helps you come back. So I made this hard comeback at the end. And then we were laughing at the end because I was playing with the Bills. and number 27 makes the interception, and it was like none of his players could tackle him, and he did all the way the pick six for the 27th points. And that just made me think of the old EA thing. If it's in the game, it's in the game. And we're like, how perfect is that? Number 27 with the pick six for the 27th points for Buffalo. But anyway, I don't know. We were having a fun time, man, and hey, just I guess the point I'm really trying to make, you guys, is I used to have friends, right? I used to have my friends. We'd hang out and do friend things, go out, watch sports games, you know, do things typical Americans do. I lost all those friends really in 2013 when I really started to speak out. But I have made new friends, people like Jonathan. And even though Jonathan and I, we've known each other for quite a while now, but we haven't known each other forever. But he feels like a friend that I've had for all my lifetime, man. So I think that's the thing. You find people that you have like something big time in common with. You can make a really good relationship, and that's kind of what it's like when we have these get-togethers, man. You can see all these just diverse group of people come together and instantly hit it off and make conversation. And sure, some people are a little bit shyer than others. For the shy, and you know what? I know, like, I'm not gonna. Well, I noticed one gentleman, he was a little bit shyer because I noticed he wasn't quite having as many conversations, but he was just coming out anyway. He was out there 3 different days. He was talking to people, but maybe talking to people less than others. But still, he wanted to be with the group, connect with the group. And I'm sure he'll be out there on 824. And he might know that I'm talking about him right now on 824, man. Just, you know, go out and say, talk more to people, man. Talk more to people. Have a conversation. Don't be so shy. But regardless... Oh, shit, I want to run over that bird. That bird was, like, just trying to run into my tires. Did I miss... Where are we? What is this town? This looks like the biggest ghost town there ever was. I do not remember driving through this town on the way there. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I'm not gonna make this one too long, you guys, this video, but I am almost home. I got 2 more hours of driving, and yeah, again, just thank you to everyone who came out. Thank you to everyone who was there in spirit. Thank you to everyone who hit the like and share and help get the word out even more. I mean, there are other ways to get the word out. Again, you don't have to be there to help get it out. Just sharing it on social media. One thing that I would ask for 824 before we get there, again, a lot of you guys in the community, it's okay that you didn't come out. I know not everybody's by LA, but if you guys can even just start promoting it on your own channel, these get-togethers, even if you can't be there. Just, hey, by the way, there's a big Truth Seeker get-together on 824 in LA. I mean, now's the time to start promoting it because it'll be here before we know. You know, it's about 4 months away. And... I mean, just, yeah, maybe once a month as we get up to it, especially as we get close to the date, promote it. You know, you might have a smaller, you might be thinking like, oh, well, if, you know, I don't even know how to put it. Just the more places it's promoted, the better. The more eyes are likely going to find it, the more people we're going to get there. If we have huge numbers of people standing around and more speakers, we're going to have better results. Again, a crowd turns heads. When people start stopping and gathering and listening, it makes other people want to stop, gather, and listen. And the other thing we really got to get is, again, the other people that have platforms. Here, for example, you know, people said, why did I tag Anomaly in one of the videos I did? Because he's in LA and he has 1 million people that follow him online. And I was hoping maybe he might actually consider coming out, because the night before I tagged him, somebody came out who actually knows him in person, and they let me know that he's very aware of me and does talk about my work, and I seem to be on his mind, yet he never brings it up on his channel. It's like, come on, like, what is wrong with people? And just to be clear, that person said the reason he doesn't, see, people have the wrong mentality. Anomaly is literally worried that I will eat up his market share. Like, if he shares my work, then he'll lose some of his clientele the way he sees it. I don't think it's like that. I think we all benefit by working together I think we all grow our audiences together. I don't think people who like Anomaly are gonna be like, oh, I like Zach, so I'm leaving Anomaly. Just like, that's why I always promote people. I don't think because, oh, I promote Kayla Decode Talker, oh, I promote Chigozy Truth, oh, I promote Derek, oh, I promote Rambo, oh, I promote whoever. I don't think that means they're gonna leave me too. I just think it means now they'll support them also. Now they have another person to tune into, you know? So, people got this, I forget what the right term is. Is it zero sum gain? I can't even think of it right now. But yeah, people, it's just like, anyway. Yeah, that Anomaly guy, he's got a big audience and he's in LA. So I feel like he could get a lot more people there. And he's a rapper. Anomaly, I don't mind being in your shadow. I'm sure if Anomaly's there, he's going to have more people. People like entertainment and music. That's fine. But, yeah, the point is just to, again, make a difference. And I know more people makes more of a difference. So. Plus, you guys got to come out in LA and hang out with Jeff Young and see what the rock star lifestyle. I'll tell you what, seems to have lifelong lasting perks. Jeff took us out to his favorite hangout. The ladies were swarming. Jeff Young, true rock star. So anyway, fun to finally meet Jeff too. And it is weird. You know, Jeff and I really hit it off because of Prince's death, sadly. And then we finally end up meeting on the anniversary of Prince's death. And while he's the cameraman and I'm speaking, the dove flies above our head. It was just too weird. It's like, this world is magical. This world is magical. So. Oh yeah, you know who else? Here, one more thing I got to say before I wrap this up. A woman came out. If you're watching the stream towards the end, she sang. That woman, she had the most beautiful aura. You could just see she was just radiating with this really nice energy, and she gave me some good tips and pointers. She told me what was good and bad, and she had a lot of great advice. And then when she took the mic, she sang, and that really captured a lot of people's attention. Again, you guys, if you got a talent like that, if you can sing, if you can be a poet, if you can rap, we really need that on 824. We need that entertainment aspect. So, and I think, God. Oh, by the way, here's the other thing I gotta say. Shout out to everybody who came out in all the communities. Again, Palo Alto, San Francisco, started in Sacramento, and Sacramento started us off with a really good vibe. The Sacramento crew who came out, everybody who came out for Sacramento, something special in Sacramento. That is a nice place. Those people had a really high vibrational energy, and yeah, just a lot of instant connections made there, and a lot of good advice. The 824 thing, I got to come through Sacramento. I got to figure out how to do it, though. I might do it different. I might, I want to be super fresh on 824, like well-rested, because I wasn't well-rested at all for any day. And even though you guys said I did an okay job, I just look back and I'm like, how did I not think of that? How did I not think of that? Oh my God, how did I not think to say that right there? How did I? And again, it's not like it was bad, but it could have been a lot better. And I think if I was totally rested, like if I just flown into LA and was just fresh, I think I would have hit all these things that I've been thinking about on the road that I should have said. So maybe I'll fly into LA and I'll rent a car and, I don't know, drive to Sacramento and then fly back from Sacramento. I'll figure out the right way to do it. But yeah, just driving's tough because, you know, I mean, it's like 1,000 miles or something each way. So, and then when you're driving in traffic and stuff, it just, that's the thing too. On the way here, man, I was not expecting that blizzard and snowstorm and sliding all over the place in the mountains. I wasn't expecting that driving in the second half of April, but anyway, we did it. It's just, we'll do it even better next time. So 8/24, circle the date, LA people. And then for the other communities, definitely got to come back. But I'll figure out the right way. It might be flying to LA, rent the car, drive to Sacramento, fly back from there, something like that. So, that's it for now, True Seeker. Thank you as always. And please download all those videos if you can before they're gone. Because you know what? And by the way, thank you to YouTube for, I'm actually amazed that they didn't interfere more. I mean, that's the best it's ever been, honestly, when we hit the road and went out and spoke out. Normally we're strikes, suspended, dancing around channels, streams not staying up, phantom copyrights, but as far as I know, every stream we did is still up. Oh yeah, and that's the other thing that has to happen. That's the other thing that happens. We have to figure out a way, like literally we have to figure out a way to get like 100,000 people to gather in the parking lots of Amazon and Google and YouTube. And it really should be that many people. I guarantee there's been more than 100,000 people who've been censored by these platforms, had their voice just cut off. But yeah, just going there, just being there. I'm glad I went there and saw what these places are. They're like little fortresses with a whole bunch of security. I mean, if they're just about social media and camp videos and having a good time, then why are they like little army bases? And we already know the answer to that. Just like how Facebook launched the day that DARPA's LifeLog ended. I really don't remember these. I must be on a different route than I took the first time because my navigation's taking me a different way. I don't remember these towns. All right, yeah, I'm gonna end it here, True Seeker. Maybe I missed my turn. I was like, got on the live stream, I might have missed my turn or something. But yeah, again, thank you to everyone who came out. Thank you to everyone who helped get the word out online. And again, thank you to everyone who was there in spirit. And please, if you can, 8/24, circle the date. You know, it's not a weekend. It's like, oh, it's a work day. See if maybe you can trade days. Work an extra shift before then. Figure out a way to be there on Kobe Bryant Day. And then as we get closer, I'll figure out how to schedule the other, because I do got to come back through all the other spots that we went through. So, thank you to everyone who became a member too. I appreciate that. See the member there, right there, with the green. All right, guys, have a great rest of your evening. And again, and by the way, thank you to everyone being patient for, you know, I didn't do the sports stuff this weekend. We'll get back on it tomorrow. I might miss the morning games tomorrow if there are some, because I got to take Sweet Lady to the surgery in the morning, but we'll get back on the normal schedule here real soon. So thank you for the patience. And until next time, True Seeker, have a good one.